Norman Powell going to the free throw line. Jokic with the foul. Stumbling beginning, to say the least, for the Denver Nuggets.
Ooh, yeah, Austin Rivers, you can see he got a little bit of a, what they call it, a cherry or whatever when he hurt his hip in the first half. Well, might have been when he hurt it right there, but man, those things hurt. See it bleeding through his tights.
Norman Powell coming over at the trade deadline. Gary Trent Jr. going the other way, as well as Rodney Hood to the Toronto Raptors, the Toronto/Tampa Raptors. And hopefully they're going to be home next year for some of the best fans we have in the league.
Well, I know the Raptors hope they're home next year. This season definitely didn't go as anticipated.
You know, he came into the league and he was always driving. He was a great dunker, then the mid-range game. And give Norman Powell credit. Every year he added to his game, didn't he?
Well, and that's the key to being a successful pro in the league and lasting for a long time. You come into the league with one thing being your strength, and you continuously work on your weaknesses until you're a well-rounded basketball player, and that's where Norman Powell is today.
Jokic. The problems continue. He is now 0 for 3 on his triples and 5 of 14 overall. And on cue.
Timeout. Got to get a timeout.
On cue. Norman Powell.
Denver's lifeless right now. Got to get a timeout.
Pretty flat out of the locker room, aren't they?
Yes. This is not what Coach Malone wanted to see from his ball club.
Biggest lead so far. It is
not going well for him. 5 of 14 from the floor. We knew that he was going to cool down at some point because he's just been playing so well in this series, but tonight he just hasn't had it.
So out of the timeout, a design play, and the same result.
Same result.
And a great look.
And you see him shaking his head because he knows he's getting good shots.
Right.
He knows these are the shots that I normally take. It's not like they're doubling me or they're taking the ball out of my hands. Jokic just knows that he's not doing the things from an offensive standpoint as far as shot making that he normally does. A nice take right there by Gordon.
Yes. After the triple by Robert Covington. So it's 18 right now. They can't trade 2s for 3s, though. And all of a sudden, they said, Campazzo, it's yours. They're 7 of 25 on 3s. Guess who? Norman Powell up to 21.
He's feeling good out there, isn't he, Joe?
He's now 8 of 9 from the field. He hasn't missed from beyond the arc in his 3 attempts. He's a great story. What an acquisition by Neil O'Shea, the general manager of the Blazers. That kind of sums it up for the Denver Nuggets. They are now 7 of 26, 27% on their triples. And the block, a couple of free throws coming up.
Yeah, Denver might.
What a good series that's going to be as well. Now going to the free throw line, and he's been a factor since the first minute. And that is Yusuf Nurkic. Well, here's one of the guys that's missing.
Right.
And we've talked about Jamal Murray and all the points. Will Barton is a huge factor for them as well. And it's not just his 13 points a game, but he's a great athlete. You have to account for him. He keeps defenses honest.
And the thing about Will Barton is he has incredible confidence in his game. So if it's the fourth quarter, he's the type of guy that if the Joker can't get the shot, he'll take it himself. So they definitely miss Will Barton's offense and just that mentality out there.
Dry spell continues for Denver. And now down by 22. Monte Morris almost caught in the air. Jokic, good job by Nurkic on the step through. And the battle tapped out of bounds by Robert Covington. So this was pregame. Will Barton, and he's almost back. And I asked Michael Malone about it, and he said, we don't know if it's going to be game 5. We actually don't have a feel for it yet, but he's getting close, isn't he?
Yeah, and that's all you can ask for. You're hoping that he gets close. It's a hamstring injury, so you don't want him to come back too early, though, because if you come back from soft tissue injuries too early, you end up back on the injury list. So they're going to take their time, and Joker finally getting a shot to fall.
That is his first triple of the game. 1 of 4 from beyond the arc, 7 of 18 overall. He's got 16 points, 8 boards in 23 minutes. But he has spoiled us. He is so good. He's close to 40% of the season on his 3s. The deflection ends up with McCollum. He's trying to go by Monte Morris. A little mid-range, and he excels. First round pick, 10th overall, out of Lehigh. And C.J. McCollum up to 17. Good take by Campazzo. Rolls it home. He's had a couple of good takes, but he's not been able to finish before that.
Yeah, Campazzo's had some good layups early on. Just kind of didn't have the timing down. This time he gets it to fall. But once again, Denver's going to have to string together some stops. When you get down this big, you need 3-4 possessions in a row where you get some stops and you're able to maximize your offense on the other end. It just hasn't happened yet.
JaMychal Green on the hold. Blazers compounding the problem for Denver, already in the bonus with 5:55 to play in the third. So they're going back to the free throw line. 15 attempts already compared to 8, and it was the opposite before. And I mean, game 3, the other team lived to the free throw line. It was the Denver Nuggets had a decisive advantage at the stripe. Both teams say, well, they cast a lot of threes, so they're not going to be rewarded. But both of these teams take a ton of threes. In fact, 27 already for the Denver Nuggets.
They only hit 8 of them. So I mean,
I wasn't going to bring that up.
Oh, I mean, hey, we got to tell the truth out here. But when you look at the fact that Joker hasn't played up to the level that he's played the first 3 games, Michael Porter Jr. has really been struggling, only taking 3 shots, and then Denver as a team 8 for 27 from 3. You can see why the lead has grown to 20 points for the Portland Trailblazers.
Norman Powell all over Monte Morris. Same can be said for Damian Lillard.
And look at Dame competing defensively.
It'll be a block from behind. And shot clock violation, or will they put time on the clock? No. Nurkic again.
Joel, I love what I'm seeing. Look at Dame harassing Capazzo right here. And then once again, Nurkic saying, no, I'm not just going to stay out there at the free